I've spent pretty much the last 2 decades working with the United Nations across the globe. My expertise lies in the field of HIV/AIDS, and I have worked in communities in remote parts of Africa, Asia, trying to teach people and make them aware as to what the disease is, what they can do, and to empower themselves. So I'll start my story with a very interesting phenomena. I was in a very small village in Mozambique, and so we are here with a group of women who are single mothers and have multiple sexual partners. So we want to tell them, and we want to tell them how to protect themselves. And so we try to explain them how to use a condom. So we didn't have anything with us, we didn't have a model with us, and so what we did is, we said you need to put this on a long thing. So that's when we had interpreters. They wouldn't do the job very well. The next evening, we asked them all to come back and tell them how was their experience, and if they could explain to us what they did with it. Lo and behold, the next evening, everybody was there. What was very shocking is, outside the room was a huge bunch of brooms lying one from the other rooms. And so it was like, yes, what happened? And these women, all of them, had gone home because the interpreter told them to put it on the longest thing in the house. So they came back the next day with the brooms and the condoms on top of the brooms. So that is what they did with our information, with what we imparted to them. From my work with United Nations, and I still work with them as a consultant, I have come to realize that the people who survived HIV/AIDS onslaught, the people who were able to enhance their life and not get infected by the AIDS, full-blown AIDS. If all of you know, it starts with a virus and then the AIDS develops over a period of years. Who reacted well to the drug therapy were the ones who believed they could manage it. Epidemiological data connected from over 28 countries by the United Nations HIV/AIDS program has come to believe and has proved scientifically that the people who came from a place of positive well-being despite their situation, who came from a space where they felt they were enough, were the ones who were able to bear the brunt of a disease which is incurable even today. Doing this research, collecting this research, working with people across the globe, I realized that the one thing I need to do is to come from a space where I'm enough. And if I'm enough, I'm good to go. I am the queen of the world. Take the title. It's not easy. It's not easy because when I was born, I was a fat, chubby lady, and I'm so sexy fat. I love that. I have not tried to change my weight since I was born. So, I remember I come from India. That's a story my father told. And I come from the northern part of India where, unfortunately, even today, women or children, if a woman is known that she's pregnant with a girl child, it is aborted. It is very sad, but it is true. So I come from that kind of background, and I was born, and as I grew up, my mother gave birth to another girl child. Lo and behold, the horrors of the world descended on our family. And unfortunately, the third child was also a girl child. So we were 3 daughters, and my father was the only son. No one to carry on the family name. So when my third sister was born, I was 8, and the entire clan of Taneja family, my surname is Taneja, they gathered in the drawing room mourning the birth of the third girl child. They were wailing. It was like the death has happened in a family. So they, my aunts and my uncles and everybody sitting in that room and standing there and wailing their hearts out. Oh my God, the gods are scorned with you and with your family, and the name will not continue. My father was not at home. Thank God for that. After about 15 minutes, my father walked into the house and he saw all that wailing and the drama that was happening. I was 8. I was scared because I was sitting on there. I was like, oh my God, why are people crying? And my father entered the house in the drawing room, and he looked at all that. He's a man of very quiet and few words, and very respectful. In my culture, you're very respectful to age. As much as the older people may be complete assholes, sorry for my French, But we respect that. We come from that tradition. So it happened, and he walked in, and he looked at the crowd, went inside, and came back out in a second. And the door was closed. Because we have a lot of mosquitoes and flies in our country, so we have, those barrier doors we closed. He opened the door, and he said, please leave. That incident changed me. I am a girl, and I'm enough. My father died when I was 21. I lost the hero of my life. But I live today believing I'm enough. I come from a land where when I greet you, I fold my hands and I say namaste. I do that because I honor the divine in you. So where I come from, I am divine, you are divine. And by the very perception, if you look at Islam, if you look at Christianity, if you look at Hinduism, you look at Jainism, you look at Sikhism, you look at Buddhism, if you look at the Bible, if you read, Jesus started with saying, I'm the Son of God, and then he said, I and he are one. So we are all divine, we are all perfect. The fucking problem is we forget it. What the hell? Thinking, God, we were not thinking. We're completely screwed up. What happens is, I grew up. Okay, so I am pathetic in mathematics. I was studying Samantha, that even if today I'm unconscious, 2 plus 2 is 5. So it doesn't work with me maths, and I got best of friends. So I walk into the class, Nalini the queen, I'm the good in maths, and I flunk. 0 out of 50. Thank you very much. That's the best marks I've got. And my phone come back, Dad, I flunked in maths. So he said, oh, so you flunked in maths, so big deal. You are a gold medalist. I'm your daughter. I flunked. I said, what was your marks in English? I said, I got 80. What were your marks in social sciences? 75. You just flunked in maths. It's fine. You deal with it. It's something different. I still have not dealt with it. After 50 years, I'm still bad. But the point is, my father did not label me because I was bad in maths. I was fine. I'm good in English. I have a PhD in English. Come on, guys. I've studied at Harvard. Give me a break. A round of applause. No, just kidding. The thing is, we get conditioned by the society. As parents, we condition our children. As teachers, I've been a teacher half my life. As teachers, we walk into this classroom and the students are making noise, and the teacher said, shut up. You're disturbing the class. What, as a 5-year-old, I'm not understanding I'm disturbing the class. What I'm understanding is, I am not good enough. She doesn't want to hear my voice. As a wife, I cook a dish. Well, I'm not a wife, thank God for his mercies. I am single, guys. If anybody is interested, I'm ready to mingle.
Next Wednesday working.
I'm not ready to mingle. I'm too much to do. I'm not ready. No, and what happens, sorry, I can go on a tangent, but anyways, and what happens is that the child, as you grow up, you get conditioned. Are you all parents here? Everybody's a parent?
No.
No. That's also good. Most of you are not parents? Or are you? Can you raise your hands? Who all are parents?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you remember the first time you saw your kid?
Yes.
What did you feel? Yeah, what did you feel? When you saw your child the first time?
How do you describe something that you never thought was possible? It's,
But you had sex and it became possible. So that's yes.
it's just it's a life-changing experience.
Give me an adjective. I'm an English teacher.
Well, English wasn't one of my
Oh, come on.
Give her a number.
a fabulous experience.
Fabulous. Tell me.
Yeah.
Unconditional love.
Unconditional love. Beautiful.
Well, for me, it was a mix of shock, because they're 5-step kids, the ages of 3 to 10 when I stepped into their life.
Okay.
So it was shock and awe.
Oh. To me, when I saw my nephew for the first time, it was perfection. It was magnificence. This is creation. It fucking doesn't get better than this. It's beauty. As we grow up, we forget we are that magnificence. Somebody who works with horses, come on, doesn't get better than that. Beautiful. We forget who we are. We forget, I am good enough. I'm enough. I heard you last time, Helen, and you spoke about your struggles for starting your business. But I'm sure your business from paying that mortgage, which was quite huge, you did it because you believed you were enough. You could do it. Imagine if we lived in a space where we were all enough. If you look at society, if you look at the wars, if you look at what is happening to the world, 1 in 5 Australians will suffer from a depression. 1 in 4 school kid before he turns 14 will suffer from mental anxiety or a disorder of some kind in this country. Why? Because he's not being told he's enough. Imagine you get up in the morning and you look at yourself and you say, oh my God, I'm good. I am beautiful. I'm perfect. Well, you can't get better than me, but that's okay. I'll take it. Because you are good. Look around yourself. Does anybody look like you? Is there anyone who has the same color of eyes? I remember in a school once I asked children, I said, come on, tell me the color of your eyes. They were like, We have never, in fact I'll do the same exercise now, I don't have the time as much as Marcus would give me, but still, if I ask each one of you, I can guarantee you don't know the color of your eyes. You really don't know the color of your eyes. Forget what you know anything else. It is an image you see every day. Do you know how beautiful you are? Do you know how great you are? Do you know how gorgeous you are? I want to buy the next Mercedes-Benz. Well, one, it will suit me a lot, that's different. But because my sister has it. I want my son, smaller son, to study harder compared to Jack or John or whoever he is, because studies is the way to go. How the hell do you know? What do you know? Do you know anything about yourself? Have you ever stood in front of yourself and looked and said, my God, he was really thinking I'm great. Have you ever done that? Why do we all look different? Why do women in Africa with those beautiful sexy bumps, they have beautiful bumps by the way, and those African hair, beautiful hair, Indian women, Australian women with the color of their skin, the blonde hair, oh my God, I wish I could have them, but it's not going to happen. Why we are all so beautiful? Why I cannot say that Jackie is not prettier than Tamara? Because what Tamara is, Samantha is not. What Christina is, Michael is not. Obviously, thank you, that's very evident. But we are all beautiful. Why can't we come in that space? Why can't we get up in the morning and look in the mirror and say, baby, you're good to go? But don't say, guys, please don't say that, that's okay. But imagine the energy we will create. I don't think in the Sanskrit Vedas we say the biggest thanksgiving we can give to God or to the universe is to say, thank you, I'm good. Thank you. What a dishonor we do when we don't stand up in our space and say, I'm good. How many times we don't listen? People talk, we don't listen. That's beautiful. I love it. So my hope and my belief and my vision for this universe is, if we all stand in that space, there will be less wars. There will be less kids with mental diseases. There will be less people dying of HIV/AIDS. There will be more happiness. There will be more joy. There will be more fun. There will be more sexy things to do. I really hope, I really wish that this universe bestows this beautiful gift to all of you. And you come in that space of I'm enough. Before I go, I will give you something for all of you. It's a little token of you to be reminded that you are enough.
Yeah, we're left here.
I don't know anyhow. It is this pack, of course, has my name. At the end of the day, I have to make the money. It has one quotation from the Sanskrit Upanishad, and it's a checklist on the other side. It's a checklist of what you do every day. You will disagree with it. It's your problem, it's not my problem. My job is to give it to you. It's a canvas. This canvas is being given in the hope that you are reminded that let your shala, let your magnificence shine and fill this universe. And on this side, you will find 2 incense sticks. My sister kept on repeating, it's not incense, it's incense. So incense sticks, let your fragrance spread. Be the people that you are. Be the miracles that you are. And live and be that miracle. Thank you.
Wow.
Does anybody else say one?